Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Basking Broodscale on the draw for game 1. Looks like we're up against Zoo. Not thrilled by that. We'll go Cavern of Souls. See, I'm tempted to pitch the Emrakul here because we want the Ancient Stirrings to try and find Blade. Yeah, I'm tempted to pitch the Emrakul. Let's do that. We'll pass. Flooded Strand, you have a Ragavan. Of course you do, because why wouldn't you? I would love to see a temple then. Show me a temple. No dice. I mean, we could play the Broodscale, but that seems bad. So let's start with Stirrings. Stirrings finds us Needle Lantern, Springleaf. I suppose we'll go for the Springleaf. Play Carplucin, cast Springleaf, and pass. So next turn we can exile the Ragavan if necessary. We'll hold. Worst case scenario here is that they play Sign of Draco. Or they pilfer one of my freaking blades. Besage you. Okay, that's alright. End step, holding, draw. Tezzeret. Tezzeret can find the blade, but I'm afraid they're holding a Stubborn Denial, so I'm going to instead play the Grove. We're going to set up with the K command. End step, do you bolt me? Nope, fetch, surveil. Because right now we need to play around bolt, binding, and denial. Flood Strand, surveil, lush port. End step and draw 5 cards in hand. They kept one on top, it looks like. Go to combat, and I will cast K command. I really like Tezzeret in these builds. It allows you to trim down on other cards, allows you to pull hate pieces on a whim. I mean, this Tezzeret is acting as both a Blade of the Blood Chief as well as a Ballista, potentially. Consign main, brutal. Okay, glad we played around that. And Ragavan Pilfers. What was Ragavan Pilfer? Ragavan Pilfers, Glaring Fleshraker. Would have liked that. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. Wouldn't have been enough to play Fleshraker into Tez, but Fleshraker would have made for a good fodder. Because we would have been able to Fleshraker, tap, cast Broodscale, make a spawn. Have a spawn as a blocker, I suppose. Would have been okay. At least this way, with the Forest, we can play around Stubborn Denial. Unless they play Kavu or Draco. There's Kavu. So now Denial's online, so it doesn't matter at that point. We draw Saga. Okay, Saga can find Blade. So Saga trigger. Cast Tezzeret. Tezzeret resolves. Minus Tezzeret. So I'm thinking this one's a bit interesting because we don't have a win condition next turn is the problem. We need to drop into one. There is another thought to where we go Ballista and we basically wait for 2 turns, but that feels incorrect. Let's go Blade and try and bait out a Leyline Binding. We'll play Blade and then pass. Triggers Tezzeret. We could have gotten a Might, which would have gotten rid of the ley line of the Guild Pact. I'm not sure if that would necessarily done much given the treasures they have plus the lands they have. Right now they have 1, 2, 3, 4 types, or basic land types plus the treasures. Ideally, Ragavan gets sent at Tezzeret, Kavu at us at 11. I guess Might could have blocked the Ragavan. Not sure how good that would have been. Whereas if they don't have any interaction, theoretically, we draw into a win con, we could just win next turn. It is quite a lofty ambition to also suggest that they don't have any interaction because they have Bolt and Binding to play with. They also did not pitch a... Did they pitch a card? They pitched the Arid Mesa? Discards Arid Mesa, so they draw. Alright, we draw, trigger, second Blade. I mean, that is a win condition. Okay, I mean, we go for it, right? So at this point, green and colorless. Attempt to equip. Do you have a Bolt or Binding? Because we can always grab Might off a Saga next turn. If they Bolt or Binding now, we can make a Construct. If they're smart, they'll wait for us to adapt. There's the Bolt. Okay, that's the worst case scenario, by and large. So we'll tap the Broodscale. Bolt will resolve. Trigger Blade. Yeah, Bolt was, by and large, the worst case scenario. And make a Construct. Alright, we'll pass. It's a 3/3, so we can block the Ragavan. They have 2 cards in hand. We'll pass. Go to combat, swing of Kavu. We'll take the 5 down to 6. Discard Wooded Foothills, draws a card, 3 in hand. Again, we'll take this 5 down to 6. If they have Tribal Flames plus Bolt, we lose. Tribal Flames plus Flage, double Flage. I guess they don't have double Flage. Green, red, Kavu. Okay. So we're going to have to grow the constructs out of range, basically. Draw, trigger, and construct number 2. Trigger. I think at this point, we have to look at one of 2 things. Either Haywire Might, which can get the ley line, which does shrink the Kavus, actually. We'll do that. We'll go Might. And then play Vexing Bauble. And do I tap the Haywire Might? I don't think we need to necessarily. Because I guess we could tap the Haywire Might for the Blade, but I think we just hold here. Yeah, we'll just hold. We're definitely not out of the woods yet, but we'll see what we can do. End step, we can redraw off the Bauble at the very least. Go to combat. No attacks. I guess I should have played the Blade last turn, actually. End step, I will draw a card. There's a Saga. Okay, making more Sagas is good, or making more Constructs is good. Plays the Saga. Play Blade of the Blood Chief. Equip Blade. Tap. Equip Blade. Tap. So now even if we sacrifice the Might, they'll grow out of range. Alright. Let's hope they just don't find non-combat damage. Arid Mesa fetch. Do they surveil? Nope, Triumph. So this way Kavus stay a 5/5 even if we get rid of the ley line of the Guild Pact. Makes sense. 3 in hand. Again, the constructs are 6/6s, and they'll stick as 6/6s with the Might. Blue, green, Draco, white, red. What the fresh hell is this? What are you tapping for? What is this? What is this? Oh, okay, that's fine. I was like wicked concerned, like what am I seeing here? What's going on? That is fine. Soon we'll be able to start applying pressure to the board. I'll play the Eldrazi Temple. We'll cast Fleshraker. The only problem is the Kavus can double block, which is a bit ugly. At the same time, if they double block, that's kind of fine. Right? Yeah, it's kind of fine, honestly. I think we have to start attacking in at some point. We'll be able to make another construct. I suppose I should have swapped the blade to the other one. Yeah. But if they double block, then this one grows. We can also make another construct, and as we continue to clear the board, we're in a good position. Okay, they're down to 11. We're at a theoretical 8. Combat. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place with these constructs. End step. Make a construct. Trigger, Fleshraker, drain ya. And draw. Another Fleshrake. Make a construct. Drain ya. And we'll go Blade of the Bloodchief, Pith Needle, or Soul Guide. I'm thinking we go for another blade. I will cast Glaring Fleshrake. Triggers. And equip blade to the third construct. And then go to combat. They have to block each of these. If they don't, they die. Block, block, block. All right. The damage triggers. And at that point, we will pass. All right, Lethal is very much on board. They're going to need to deal me 8 damage in 1 turn to win. And opponent scoops it up, we'll take the win. That was looking grim for a hot minute there, but we were able to eke out the win. Good stuff. Zoo. Let's take a look at the sideboard guide. And let's see here. We'll cut the halfling, makes sense. Cut a Fleshrake. Cut a Rumble. Nope, not a Broodscale. Cut a Rumble. Cut Needle, because we want the Vexing. Do we want the Vexing Bubble still? No, we don't. Hexing Bubble out. And we want Gravedigger, Whale, Wayscape, Dismember. And hold the phone. 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah. Grafdiggers. Oh, Grafdiggers. That's right. I want the Grafdiggers. All right. So now we have Grafdiggers. 61. That looks good. We'll run it back. On the draw for game 2. Wayscape is good here. Dismember is good here. It's interactive. We can shut down Flage early. I'll keep. It's very interactive though. Leyline the Guild Pact. Yep. Do you have a Ragavan? You do not. Draw. Okay. We'll play the Temple. Play Cage. Pass. I guess you could theoretically Stubborn Denial it, but if you Stubborn Denial Cage, I'm kind of okay with that. Because Cage mainly is just making sure they can't play Flage. Which is relevant, after all. Or rather, they can't escape Flage, more accurately. Fetch, Surveil. Yep. And Kavu to Yard. I'm going to guess they play a Sign of Draco here, which is a bit unfortunate because we'll have to get rid of the Leyline of the Guild Pact before we can get rid of it. No, interesting. Draw. In that case, we'll play Forest. They could consign this, which is a bit concerning. I mean, I think it actually might make sense to use the K command as permission. We'll do that rather than going for the Wayscape, because I want to get rid of the Leyline to Guild Pact because then it leaves their cards vulnerable to our Dismembers. Whereas if we can't actually resolve the Dismembers because they all have Hexproof, then there's 2 dead cards. So let's try and bait out this Consign. Could also just eat a Stubborn Denial, which is okay, I guess. Interesting. Don't want Emrakul right now. We'll bottom you. Draw Saga. Saga's good. Draw Fleshrake Saga. I mean, I think we just hold the K command again. At some point, they won't be able to ignore the Saga. Or not the Saga, the command, rather. They also missed their land drop, which is important. They got it this time. Again, they're holding, though. Interesting. Well, Cascade command. Again, just trying to use that as permission and get this Consign out of hand. Done? Does it resolve? It does. Starting to think that maybe they don't have it. I say that, of course, I'm going to get a Consign here. That resolves. I'll play the E-Temp. We'll cast the Fleshrake. Does Fleshrake resolve? Fleshrake resolves. I will sack and kick. Fleshrake trigger, Wayscape trigger, always yield. Really? No Consign? No Stubborn Denials? What is in your hand? This is weird. I will pass. No attacks. We'll make a construct on their end step. What is in your hand? Bolt? Oh, okay, so it must be bolts. Weird. That's fine. Bolts, Flage, maybe? I guess they can't do much of Flage because of Grafdigger, so it's better to hold it as a Lightning Helix, I suppose? Maybe. Fetch 16. Temple Garden, 14. Kavu, 4/4. Go to end step. Make a construct. Draw. make a construct. Trigger. Grab Springleaf Drum. Play a Flesh Rake. Does Flesh Rake resolve? Right now I'm trying to see if I can play around Stubborn Denial. Because I want to dismember the Kavu. Okay, there's finally the consign. So play the Forest. And we will eat the Kavu. Black, tap, and shock. Kavu down. Go to combat. Swing for 6. Down to 8. Lethal is on board. We can't do anything, so I'll pass in full. Arid Mesa. Arid Mesa fetched a 7. Plains. And what this? Oh, Rat the Skies X2. Yeah, that'll do it. That will in fact do it. That's why I brought in the Warping Wells, but we did not find them, unfortunately. We draw Emrakul. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Brutal. So we're short 1, it looks like. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, we're short 1. So in that case, we'll cast Tezzeret. I will minus Tezzeret. And what do we grab? We could grab Soul Guide Lantern to play around... What? To play around Flage? That's a consideration. We already have a... Let's see, we have... Yeah, all the types but Planeswalker and Yard. So I guess we'll go Soul Guide. Play Soul Guide, Tezzeret trigger, Soul Guide trigger. We'll eat, I don't know, Consign the Memory, because I hate that card. Alright, Tezzeret trigger, always yield. And then we're kind of just hoping that they will pop Tezzeret, so we can play the Emrakul. Yeah, that we draw into a land. I'd love to see a Cavern of Souls, I suppose. And Flage. Yep, we played around it correctly. Let's see how they stack the triggers before I activate Soul Guide. They should do it to where Evoke is last on the stack. Okay, yep, they did it correctly. They can't play Flage though. So that's fine. Flage in Yard. We can hold. Land 2 in hand and pass. Draw. K command. We could use K command as permission in case they have a consign. I think that makes sense. So we'll hold. They'll fetch, no fetch. We'll have them draw and then crack. Goodbye Flage, 7 types in Yard. 3 cards in hand. What else? Fetch the 9. Triome, blue, white, Draco. Draco will resolve. Actually, no, we'll do this before Draco resolves. That way we can play around a Stubborn Denial. And done. Show me the consign. No consign. Bottom. top and draw. Draco resolves. Go to end step. I'm a little bit worried about a ley line binding. Draco down. Draco down. Draw. Grove. Stirrings. There's Walking Ballista, there's Tezzeret, there's Might. So we can play around Leyline the Guild Pact with Might. I guess we could have also gone Tezzeret, grabbed Might that way too, admittedly. We'll play the Grove. And play Emrakul. Triggers. Cast Might. Yeah, Butter, cast Might. So now they have Leyline the Guild Pact, we can get rid of it. Yep, there's Leyline the Guild Pact, or no, and Binding, not Guild Pact. Doy. I will take the damage, eat you now. And pass. Alright, one card in hand. It's a Flage. Wooded Foothills. We will play the Wooded Foothills. We will fetch the Wooded Foothills. I will play the Lush Portico to Surveil. Surveil trigger. What is it? Sign of the Draco. We play Flage. We Helix a spawn. We sack a spawn so they don't gain life. They sign up Draco, block our Emrakul. They take 9, so we leave Draco on top. And then we Flage, cast, red, white, ETBs, targets, stack. So I want to make sure this one's being targeted. Sack. Flage. Helix fails. We pass. Sign of the Draco is on top. They play Sign of the Draco. They block. They take 9. That's lethal. And pass in full. We got there. All right. And Poe skips it up. We'll take it. We'll be back for match 2. All right, we're back for match number 2 on the draw for game 1. We'll pass. Question is, do I play the Besage or play the Forest? I'm kind of tempted to play the Forest in case we need the Besage. I'm thinking like, I don't know, Titan, Broodscale, Mirror, Tron, right? Arid Mesa feels like energy. I guess that would make a bit of sense since this is a gold league. Would it make sense to only play fast decks? But they didn't crack. Which makes me think it could be... what? Could be Ruby Storm? I will grab... I think I need to grab a land. I will grab a Forest. Forest or Cavernous Souls? We'll go for a Forest. Actually... no, we need double colorless, so we'll go Cavernous Souls. That makes sense to me. We have double colorless. We pass. We can rumble next turn unless they play, let's say, Ruby Medallion, in which case we Besage you. However, they play Ral, we're in trouble. I guess at that point we play Soul Guide Lantern in order to play around Piff. Yeah? I guess we maybe rumble first. Oh, no, interesting. Looks like it might be Control. Could be Control. Yeah. Camera Souls was a good pick then. Draw. Forest. Camera Souls. Name Eldrazi. I don't entirely want to play the Rumble because it's just going to get countered. I think we'll play the Soul Guide Lantern as a redraw. Soul Guide Lantern, target Arid Mesa, resolve. Yeah, because we can use it as a redraw. And if they tap out, then we can play the Rumble. Or the K command, I suppose. Tis a thought. Opponent's taking a minute here. Alright, we will pass. Floodstrand, fetch, surveil land. Again, feels like control. Looks like Jeskai control, so we need to worry about Galvanic Discharge. Alright, we hold. And opponent's at 7. Paying cost for what? EI. Okay. Is EI normally played in Jeskai control? I don't feel like it is. And if it is, I feel like it should probably be playing Consult the Star Charts instead. Elegant Parlor, plays Parlor Surveil. Oh. Could this be Jeskai Dress Down? Does Dress Down play it though? I don't even know. Hold on. I'm not even sure if I can find Dress Down on the meta list right now. Jeskai Control. No, I mean even Jeskai Dress Down doesn't seem to play EI. So I don't know what I'm playing against, honestly. End step, we'll crack, draw a card. Fleshraker. They're tapped out, so we could force check, but window's open for us to cast a Fleshraker, so I think we do that. So we'll play Forest, Fleshraker, and pass. So unless they have a Subtlety, or Solitude, of course. There's a Subtlety. They pitched Spell Snare, so we were right to play around Counter Magic. We'll put it on top, that's fine. They can't counter it outright because of the Cavernous Souls, so that's okay. Island, paying cost for Teferi. There's the Teferi. Teferi plus. Draw. Land. Fleshrake. Cast Blade. Blade trigger. And at this point, we don't want to play into our Wrath, so we'll hold the second Blade. I will pass. I will hold an off chance that they Galvanic Discharge or try and bounce the Spawn, but it's more likely they bounce the Blade, which would be fine. Bounce the Fleshrake. That's okay. I'm okay with that. I draw a card. I of course get a bit concerned about an Orange Chant lock, but I don't feel like it's normally played in these colors. Prismatic Ending, that's fine. That's why we have a second Blade. So next turn we can play Fleshraker into Rumble. Either that we hold up the K command. That's also a consideration. Let's hold. Actually, I guess we can't really hold up K command because Teferi, right? Right. Well, let's play the Fleshrake. Fleshraker. Paying cost for Dress Down. Oh, so it actually might be Jeskai Dress Down. Huh. Draw a card. Rumble. I'm thinking Saga. Saga can be pretty hard for them to deal with. Otherwise, we go Temple and try and just... Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Or 9, 10, 11. We'll go Temple for the sole purpose of if we draw into an Emrakul, we're in a really good spot. I will pass. Dress down triggers and hold. Again, the only reason why we're holding is so we can sack the spawns on the off chance it's relevant. But yeah, this looks like Jeskai Dress Down. Not something that you see every day. Interesting. We could always Beseiju Dress Down if they go Dress Down Flage. Plus the Fairy, Breeding Pool, Breeding Pool. 4-color Dress Down. Why 4 colors? I guess for Prismatic Ending? That makes sense. Prismatic Ending, yep. And draw. Ballista. A little bit worried about counter magic, so I'm thinking we just go Temple 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Done. Do you have a counter spell? And counterspell. I guess we could have sacked both spawns, so then we could have K command X2. That actually may have been better objectively. Potentially. Hmm. 3 cards in hand, about the 4. Paying cost 4. Oh! That explains the green. So this is 4-color elementals. Huh. I mean, it still plays like control, I guess. So I guess I'll classify it still as control. So now you gain 4 life. Then you gain 4 mana. Can you capitalize off the 4 mana? You'll have 6 total. But why the dress down? That confuses me a bit. Why the dress down? Lush Port. Surveil. 3 in hand. They won't have enough mana to deal with K command, I don't think. Unless they have Consign. 4. Consult. So dig 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 deep, pull 2. So I guess they could have Force. And that is a possibility. They play Force. You want to exile the Omnath and probably Scry draw next turn? That'd be my thought at least. Oh. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I still have the Surveil trigger as well. I pulled 2. Surveil 1. Resolve. Keeps it on top. Phase change. Fairy plus. And passing. Draw. Second K command. We'll play the Besieger. Do we hold it? Like, I don't know. For some reason, something just tells me I should hold. Let's force check. X equals 4. It's not like I can play anything else or another. The K command might not be relevant after, but I think we just do this. Do you have a force? I guess I should have held up the force, so I want to hold up the Beseiju, admittedly. Otherwise we'll take 1 damage. Give and take. Huh. And I reason to play the blade. What's opponent thinking here? I mean, either they have the force or they don't. We haven't seen any examples of force. 4 cards in hand, though. There's no reason why they wouldn't just pass in full then, I guess, unless they maybe have a subtlety. That's an option. Okay, it resolves. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's Broodscale. Ooh, hold the phone. So we have Broodscale. We can cast Broodscale, cast Blade, equip. That's 4. And we need a spawn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Spawn. And then we have the K command. So in that case, let's go top, bottom, top, top draw. Play Basiju. Cast Broodscale. Does Broodscale resolve? Broodscale resolves. Play the Blade. Blade resolves. Equip the Broodscale. Sack. Triggers. Always yield. Resolves. Sack. Always yes. Always yield. Alright, and we should get there. I mean, they've demonstrated they don't have a force. Pain? For what? Do you have a solitude? Dude, you wasted so much time. I can't play at instant speed. Son of a... Weird. Why did you wait? Wait, you evoke trigger? My guy. Evoke trigger? They sequenced the stack wrong. So now I have infinite mana. And unless they have a force in hand, we should just win. My guy. Because we can just stack our entire deck. So we're just going to go to, what? X equals 41, so I need 43 mana. And just stack our entire deck with whatever we need. And then probably just play Emrakul as the start, basically. So we'll go to 43, we'll cast Emrakul to start. Teferio bounce a spawn, that remains, basically. Okay, 41, 2, 3. We also gain 44 life. Oh, I guess we should have went one deeper, right? No, this was correct. Yeah, 40, 41? No, I think I was one off. It's fine. We won't see the last card of our deck. Yep, opponent scoops it up, we win. Weird. Yeah, opponent was not paying attention at all. So yeah, this is like elemental control. So we still want Vexing Bauble. I think we can cut the Soul Guide. We want the Pith Needle. I think we can cut Might. We want Warping Will. We want Dismember. We want Thief. What else? Let's take a look at my sideboard guide for general control. Warping Will, Thief, and that's kind of it. We cut Halfling, Might, we cut Flesh Raker. I think I do want Dismember though. So cut Rumble, cut another Halfling maybe? Run like this. Yeah, that seems reasonable, I think. So let's do that. And I don't think I need anything else. Wastegate, no. Cage, no. The dress down still confuses me. The dress down makes me think that they play Flage, which could make sense based on the red. Did we see Kahira as a companion? I can't recall. I mean, I guess if we did, it would have been dead giveaway they didn't play Flage, but I don't think we did. Which makes me think that they do play Flage, and they're running the dress down for that? Weird. Weird. So maybe we want the Soul Guide Lantern? I don't know. I think I keep it as is for now, and run it back like this. That'd be my initial thought. We're on the draw for game 2. Let's see what our opening hand looks like. Opponent is at a time deficit, which is good. I'll keep this. Yeah. I mean, this allows us to go turn to Flesh Rake or turn to Thief. We can also use K command as permission. And one moment. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Hold up. There we go. Opponent plays land, passes, draw. Warping Whale. Warping Whale's nice. I'll take a Warping Whale. We'll play Temple. We'll pass. And fetch. Surveil. And no new major innovations. So they do have a Flage. Weird. Okay. Freaking strange Omnath / dress down control. So in that case, I kind of want this K command to resolve. Which makes me think we actually feed them a Flesh Raker. And either counterspell or a consign. We'll pass in full. This way we can ideally force through this K command to exile the Flage. Surveil. Okay. Do you have consign? That's 3. No. Okay. So no consign. Hollowed Fountain, Shock, 16 for what? Teferi bounce Flesh. Okay, so it means now we're force checking. K command. X equals 1. I kind of want to scry draw here, actually. Scry draw, exile. Scry draw, exile, because I want to find a land off top, please. And done. Force check. No force check, Broodscale. As much as I want the Broodscale, I think I need to put the bottom, as awkward as that is. Draw, Emrakul. We'll pass. So Flage down. Really could have used the land there. Because now we have to pitch. I'm thinking Ballista. Ballista adds 2 types to yard for Emrakul. Yeah, let's do that. And pass. It's a fairy plus. And then what? I guess maybe we shouldn't have scry drawed. We should have just ramped. There's the grove. Okay, so it worked out. 4, 8. We could attempt to thief, but I think they'll probably have counter magic, so we're gonna start with Flesh. And because they already know about it. See if this eats a consign. It does not. We'll pass in full at this point. Does it eat a Solitude? What else would you have in instant speed? I guess maybe Discharge. Though, I mean, if you're running Discharge, I feel like we would have seen Tune the Narrative, which we haven't seen. So, that makes me think that you don't play Discharge. What is this? Oh, I guess you could play Prismatic Ending at instant speed because the fairy. Right. That's an option, yeah. That is, in fact, an option. Is that what you're doing, though? Yeah, it is. Okay. That's fair. Six up. Passing. Draw. Carplucin. We're gonna thief. We'll thief here. Thief. Eat. Does it resolve? Opponent Tinkin. Because if this resolves, then we have Warping Well up in case they have another Prismatic Ending, I suppose. Okay, Teferi down. We hold the Warping Whale. Do you have another Prismatic Ending? Okay, they're paying for something, so I'm thinking ending. Dress down. Okay, dress down, draw a card. And so they did on end step, so that way it sticks on board, basically. So now they could cast Flage, and it'll stick. Yep, okay, so that's exactly what they did. So now we have K command to deal with that. So now they need a force. So I'll play a forest. I will 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rampant Exile. And done. Yes. Force check. All right, there's force, consult. At that point, we'll pass, no attacks. We'll take 9 down to 10 next turn then. Not much we can do about that, unfortunately. Land 14, attack for 9. Yep. No blocks. And draw. Blade. Let's start with Fleshraker. Does Fleshraker resolve? Fleshraker resolves. We'll play Blade. Blade trigger. Trigger. I mean, Tezzeret's mana neutral, otherwise we could hold Whale. Holding Whale is an option. Alternatively, I'm actually tempted to equip Blade the Thief. Because if they Helix Fleshraker, it grows. Then we can sack, play Warping Whale, make a spawn. That's a consideration. We'll hold. No attacks. They could still have Solitude. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're at 11 right now. This would be 12, 13. Guess we could have held that. Consult kicked, so dig 4, pull 2. It being instant speed, like, it's instant speed memory deluge. It's nutty. Absolutely nutty. Like, the funny part is too, like, people were underestimating it during spoiler season, like, oh, it's not as good as memory deluge, and like, you're insane. This card is nuts. Absolutely bonkers. All right, let's see what you do here. So again, you can attack Flage, Helix the Flesh Raker, Grows the Thief, sacrifice the spawn, Warping Whale, make another spawn. The combat. Flage attack, Helix target. Targets me. Well, now that's just unexpected. Okay. Down to 7. Go to blocks. Block with a spawn. Sack, triggers. Always yield. And we phase change. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'd be 1 short. We'll cast the Warping Whale and go for it. Does Warping Whale resolve? Triggers. And triggers. Okay. Plays Arena of Glory. Is this Wrath for 3? Alright. I mean, you take out your Flage, then you haste it next turn is the thought? Yeah. I guess that is the thought here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 short of that Emrakul. We don't have the Soul Guide. There's Halfling. Halfling doesn't do enough, and I don't know if I have the right card here for Tezzeret. Let's find out. Because I actually don't know this question. Let's see. First, do they have a force? They do not. Well, mine is Tezzeret. So I do not know the answer to this question, but I'm curious. I'm going to cast Pithy Needle. I'm going to need Arena of Glory. Is Arena of Glory considered a mana ability? I genuinely don't know the answer. I suppose we'll find out. Play the Halfling, we'll pass. And pass. Yeah, if someone in the comments or in chat knows, that would be awesome to find out. Nope, they can still do it. Okay, well, we tried. So good to know we learned today. So we are very much dead. I'll concede it. Actually, no, I'm not going to concede. Opponent's at a time. Wait. Why? Opponent? Why you haste a Solitude? Why did you haste a Solitude? Why did you not haste Flage? You have Flageon Yard. Huh? Okay. I'm confused, but okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Temple? Rumble? Rumble will be mana neutral. Okay. Rumble? Force check? Fetch? Is it, Spell Snare? Cast? Spell Snare. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One short will take them at most 6. 6 damage. Okay. They didn't play Flage. Why? I guess they can haste it next turn. Draw, land, Stirrings. I need a Temple. Stirrings. Does it resolve? Paying cost. Hardcast Force. Hardcast Force. Go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, we're short. I'll just have you play it out, because you seem to be a fan of doing so. You draw a card. I mean, you have lethal. What? I mean, are they worried about like a K command? That wouldn't make sense though. If they were, then they would have held. Opponent confuses me. That's what I'm figuring out here. Opponent confuses me. But we're most likely going to lose here. So we'll just put that in as a loss now, unless somehow we pull this out of our rear end. Okay, we hasten the Flage? We hasten the Flage? Is that what we're doing now? Okay, double red. Uh-huh. Wait, triple red? Why triple red? No? Paying cost? Red, red. 1 red. 2, wait. 2 red. Omnath? I mean, yeah, that's lethal too. I feel like they may have forgot about the Flage. I don't know why. I feel like they forgot about Flage. It's like in yard and just like exited existence. It got put into exile. Solitude? Okay. Yeah, that's it's still lethal. Right? Yeah. On the sideboard. Well, got the gemstone. I will definitely want the soul guide back. Anything else? I guess Graph Diggers could be relevant. Do we cut another halfling, I guess? Yeah, I guess. Alright, let's run it back. What a weird game. On the play for game 3, I will keep. We will play the Temple. So, ideally we need to draw into a land. Because we play the Flesh Rake, it resolves. We play Blade, Broodscale, we win. So in that case, we'll pass. And pass. Flood Strand, pass, draw, Halfling. That's interesting. I mean, you could use Halfling as bait. Otherwise, you can cast the Flesh Raker, and the main thing they can use is Consign. Yeah, let's do that. Pass. You have Consign to Memory? Or Solitude? Fetch, 19. Surveil? Surveil, yep. Land to yard, okay. Pass in full. And again, if you draw into a land, they have no interaction, we win. I mean, I'm assuming that because they dropped a land to yard, they have one in hand, right? There's no world where they kept... Okay, Solitude, Supreme Verdict. Okay. Flush Rake down, that's fine. Use that as a Lightning Rod. Draw. Lantern. We'll play Delighted Halfling. Does Halfling resolve? Halfling resolves. We'll play the Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern will eat the Solitude. And knowing that they play Flage, we'll just hold the Lantern. Paying cost. Dress down. Okay, draw a card. So I guess what they can do here is they can play Flage next turn. That is an option. Floated Strand fetch. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3. We need a land to be able to equip Flage. So yeah, we need a land at this point. Dress down, trigger, draw, temple. Okay. So this gets a bit interesting because what we can do now, first off and foremost, is we can cast Blade of the Bloodchief. Does Blade resolve? Blade resolves. I am going to play the Broodscale. Does Broodscale resolve? Broodscale resolves. I'm going to equip Blade to Broodscale. Does that resolve? Do you have a Solitude, basically? If you have a Solitude, now's the time to play it. Walking Ballista for 0. Does Walking Ballista resolve? If they have a Solitude, now's the time to play it. Of course they do. Wrath the Skies out. Solitude. Solitude will eat the Broodscale. Dude, stack your triggers better. Okay, people. I need to remind you. First in, last out. That is how that works. First in, last out. Evoke trigger? Triggers Blade. Always yes, always yield. Sacrifice the spawn. Sacrifice the spawn. We're gonna do this until I'm at 1,000,000 life. But before that, I'm gonna crack the Soul Guide Lantern. Let's draw a card. And opponent scoops it up. And this, friends, is why you never concede. But yeah, first in, last out. That's how the stack works. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to complain. I'm just really, really confused. With that said, we'll be back for match 3. All right, we're back for match 3 on the play for game 1. I mean, we're just missing Broodscale. We'll keep. We have a win condition in the way of Tezzeret. We can dig for Broodscale for Rumble. And I suppose since we have double Blade, we can play it on 1 without any real concern. So play the Grove, play the Blade, pass, and pass. Bog, Bolt, Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize should take Malevolent Rumbles. Now we only have 4 hits off the top for Broodscale. That's unfortunate. So, could be Blink. Blink would make sense. Really? Took Tezzeret. Interesting. Fleshraker. We like Fleshraker. Play the Karplusen. Gain you 1 life. Play the Rumble. We whiff pretty hard here. We'll grab the Templar the Might. If we assume that this is Blink, we could play around. We could play around over the Balemark with Might. We don't know for certain that this is Blink, but it feels like it is. I'm going to grab the Might then. And I'm going to pass. Thing is, I can't play the Fleshraker and Might unless we find a Soul Land. We'll pass. Okay, Shadow Backstreet. So yeah, this looks like Blink. No Felia. Ooh, Emperor Bones might be Goryo's. Could be Goryo's. Rumble again. Go Gemstone. Gain you a life. Rumble. Flesh Rake. Flesh Rake or Tez? We'll go Flesh Rake. I will cast Haywire Might. Trigger, always yield. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 types in Yard right now? Yes. No attacks. Do you have Push? Do you have Solitude? I guess we could have held the Might theoretically. Yeah, we could have done so. Because they can't play Overlord and then have it hit board. 2. Bold move, Cotton. I mean... Mill? Ketra. Oh, okay, so this is Ketra. Interesting. Pulls Ketra. No land drop? That's huge. End step. Let's not belabor the point. We're gonna exile the Overlord. Triggers. And pass in full. Draw. K command. We want to hold the K command for Ketra. So we will play Flesh Raker. I will pass. Because next turn we can have Blade be mana positive. We'll hold no Solitude. Okay. Did you find a land drop? I mean, if they found a land, they would have just played it into Ketra 1. Okay, this is looking promising. How many attacks do we have in Yard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have all 7 types in Yard now. So we're in a good spot for Emrakul. So they do have Relic. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, are we at 7? We don't have K command in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're at 6. No. Am I crazy? Do we have 8 types in our deck? We might have 8 types in our deck, not 7. Because I think Saga. Artifact, creature, planeswalker, land, sorcery, instant, kindred. Enchantment? Yeah, we have 8. Okay. So yeah, we, I think, are at 6. Because we don't have instant kindred. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. Black, black. Another Overlord. Okay. Overlord trigger. There's Frog. Okay, that's Ketra Frog. Interesting. Pulls Frog. Passing. Show me a land, please. Up to 8, they have to pitch a card. Pitches Frog. Picks up Frog, pitches Frog. Soul Guide Lantern. In that case, I will play Flesh Rake number 2. Triggers. Solitude. Rude. Why would you not Solitude prior to cleanup? Pitches Ketramos. Exiles the Flesh Rake. Rude as hell. Soul Guide Lantern's mana neutral, so I will cast the Soul Guide Lantern so we can eat the Solitude. Always yield. Opponent's making questionable choices today. Eat the Solitude. We can always use it as a redraw, otherwise we can hold with the K command. I will hold. And hold. On down to 16. There's a thought that maybe I should have attacked first, potentially. Black. No. Maybe a Fatal Push, but they don't have a way to trigger Revolt. 6 in hand, no blue, no frog, no land. Thoughtseize is annoying because they're gonna eat the K command. We could scry draw. The only issue of doing that, I mean, it's mana negative. We draw blind. It could be the card we want. Could be Broodscale, for example. So we'll just let the Thoughtseize resolve. They'll eat the K command. Yep, they're 14. Paying cost. White. White. Relic? Okay. So they'll Relic. They can't exile my entire yard. Yep. And you have multiple Tezzeret, so Tezzeret. Alright. And pass. Trigger. Draw. Rumble. Cast Rumble. Tezzeret, Cavern Souls, Vexing Bauble. I will grab... I'm really tempted to grab Tezzeret for Ballista, but I think Vexing Bauble might be better for Solitude. That is a consideration. We'll go Vexing Bauble. Triggers. Vexing Bauble. Triggers. No Solitude for you. So we could just equip Blade, attack, but I think we'll just hold here. I guess we will play the Blade. Triggers. We can deal 2, 3, 4. Actually, how much damage can I do right now? So 2, equip. Equip, so then it'd be 3. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's tempting. I'm not gonna lie. It is tempting to just equip. Because, yeah, 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7. They'd be down to 4. Eh. We'll attack with the Flesh Rake, and we'll hold. They're at 9. Crack Relic, exile yards, draw a card. Did you finally find a land? Black push. There's push, that resolves. Triggers. And we'll draw. Draw. Stirrings. I will play Stirrings. There's Ballista, there's Emrakul. If I Ballista, there's also K command. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're short on Emrakul clearly. We could Ballista. They would need a push or a Solitude, but they can't Solitude because of Bauble. So I think Ballista seems correct. The K command does allow me to dig pretty deep. We're gonna go with the K command and then hold. I'm just a bit worried that if we play the Solitude, we pass a turn, then we don't necessarily win. Whereas the K command, at least we can hold and interact and also dig deeper. And a bunch of scoops. My guy drew 6 cards and did not find another land. That's wild. I feel that. I feel that. All right, let's take a look at Blink. So this is Ketra Blink. So we want to pitch Needle, Soul Guide, Might, Whale, Dismember, Fire Spout. And then 3 halflings. And I think we want Cavernous Souls here. So in that case, I'll pitch a Flesh Rake. Yeah, because you kind of want Cavernous Souls because it's blue, so we can assume that they have Consign. We'll run it back like this then. On the draw for 2. I mean, yeah, Tezzeret, Saga both represent blades, so we'll keep. I will pass. We'll play Saga on 2. Draw. Carplucin, pass. Fetch, Surveil. Down to 19. Meticulous Archive. Yep, they have blue for the frog and Consign. Makes sense to me. Seeing Ketra surprising, though. Oh, interesting. Seeing Ketra and Riddler surprising. Excuse me. Tapped. So, no Felio. Draw. Emrakul. Saga Trigger. And Rumble. Fleshraker, Beseiju. Beseiju can pop the Overlord. That is a consideration. Fleshraker does ramp us, though. We'll go Fleshrake. And pass. And hold. Paying cost for Wrath. 0. That will set me back pretty significantly, admittedly. I'd love to see a temple off top. Draw. Gemstone, you're late to the party, friend. 5 types in yard. We're already to 7, so this Emrakul is actually looking a bit decent now. Carplucin, pass. We already have a K command in yard, so no reason to cycle this into there. Sewer, Surveil, Trigger. Yeah, that Wrath for 0 is rough. Alright. And we hold. I guess we could arguably cut a Saga against Blink. That's a consideration. Tezzeret. We'll continue with Grove, and I guess since we have redundancy with Tezzeret, I'm tempted to play into the Consign. Tezzeret, show me the Consign. Pays cost. Or not? Paying cost. 2. Okay. I mean, this tells me they don't have Felio. That's fine. That adds a type to yard. So 6, 7, 8, 9. We are short 4. So 9, 10. I mean, I think we pretty much just check for Consign here. Ballista. Play the Grove. And what we do at this point is we're going... Oh, I guess we should have kept Needle because they play Frog. Didn't think of that. We'll hold. If they have a Consign, then we'll have them at least use the mana on their turn. Upkeep, command, ramp, and exile. Exile Frog. And done. Do you have a second Consign? Paying cost. There it is. Pass. 6, 10, 11... Shadowy Backstreet Surveil. And passing. 18. And Emperor Bones. We do want to pop Emperor Bones, I think. Actually, hold the phone. Gemstone Cavern. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, we could do a few things here. There's no creature, no artifacts in Yard, meaning that we can actually play the Emrakul right now. We've already eaten through 2 consigns. The question, of course, becomes, do we think that they have the 3rd? Did they play... They played Shadowy Backstreets. The other option is we K command again, and we attempt to eat Emperor Bones. We could Ballista. Ballista X2 Pop Bones. Interesting. I mean, if we just feed the Ballista to feed the Ballista to Grave into Emrakul, I mean, it's tempting. You'd have Perfect Knowledge, but we could alternatively just K command. All right, we'll go to K command route, and we're gonna check for consign basically. Question is, do we eat the frog or eat the bones? There's not much in the grave right now that I'm worried about bones eating, so I think I'm gonna ramp exile, eat the frog. I don't want them drawing cards. And done. Do they have a 3rd consign? They do not. Okay. So frog down. We have spawns. You eat Riddler. Interesting. So you might have a Ephem adapt. So I'll end up drawing a card. This is 8 down to 10. We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it might be worth blocking the Emperor Bones. We'll block the Emperor Bones. Down to 14. Do you have an Ephem for the Riddler? You do. Draw another card. They've drawn 2, 4 in hand. Quantum Riddler sticks on board. Draw. Fire Spout. Fire Spout doesn't do enough here right now. So again, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 minus 3 plus 1. So we could play the Flesh Rake plus 0 the Ballista into the Emrakul. Let's start there. Flesh Rake. 0. Trigger. This way, if they have a Solitude, they might consider using it. 8 types in Yard. Trigger. Our turn, comrade. Fetch, Marsh Flat, Surveil. Hollowed Fountain tapped. Okay. Paying cost for what? Fatal Push. Okay. Okay. So we have Wrath, we have Overlord the Balemerks, we have Ephem. So interesting. So we can Wrath for 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, now I'm tempted to rebound on Quantum Riddler to draw into a land so I can Wrath for 5 and clear their board. That is really tempting, honestly. We also could Overlord twice, hold the Wrath, try and find a Solitude so we can Solitude and then pitch Wrath. That's also an option. Do we Ephem is the question. I don't think we do? No, I don't think we do. Because it has to be your card. It can't be someone else's card, yeah. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to draw. Draws in the frog. Well, in that case, we can play frog, pitch both Balemerks, and then Wrath? Is that right? Yeah, we can do that. So let's do that. So I go to main. We play the frog. So we go... We need double white, so just keep double white. We need black, blue, frog. Frog will pitch Overlord of the Balemerk. Will yield onto end of turn. It will pitch Overlord of the Balemerk. We will then float. Float and eat, I guess, everything. Until the turn. We'll float. Eat everything. And then float. Eat everything. Alright, and then we're gonna wrap the skies. White, white. For 2. Done. Okay. For 2. Okay. And then we attack. Quantum Riddler. Go to blocks. Block and pass. Woo! Alright, opponent. Let's see if you can come back from that. You'll need a Solitude at the very least as a starter. And opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Good stuff. Alright, alright, alright. We'll be back for match 4. Alright, we're back for match 4. I'm pretty sure we just played against this opponent. Either they are Blink or Control. I know they're not Zoo, but I feel like we just played against them. Like, that shows how short-term my memory is. Yeah. That's where I'm at right now. So either Blink or it's Control. I want to say it's Blink again, which is annoying. No. Yes. Yes, it is. Thoughtseize, Relic, yeah, it's Blink. So we just played against them. We're playing against them again. That shows how many people are in the freaking gold leagues, I guess. I mean, I'm happy that we got it queued a bit faster, but still brutal. Frog. Tease the frog. And we draw. A second Rumble. So what we could do is we can go Tezzeret. Tezzeret, untap, cast Blade, trigger, always yield, and then pass. And pass. So you could pitch cards for Tezzeret. That's an option. You have to pitch 4. Begin combat. Attack Tez. Do you pitch 4 cards for Tezzeret? No. Just 1 off. Okay. So they could have push. We might minus for Bobble. Just play around Solitude. That is an option. We draw. Stirrings. I'm gonna start with Rumble. We did find a land. We'll grab Boseiju. Play Boseiju. Minus Tezzeret. For Vexing Bobble. Cast Vexing Bobble. Trigger Tezzeret. Cast Ancient Stirrings. For Fleshraker for Broodscale. We'll grab Broodscale. Yes, that makes sense to me. Because we want a second Broodscale in case. Otherwise, Emrakul is actually tempting because 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Emrakul is tempting. But I think we go for a second Broodscale. Because we have Double Blade. And then I will pass. Ping cost for what? Felia? Okay, so Felia will blink the spawn most likely. We'll pitch the Stirrings. Marsh Flats fetch. Undercity Sewers. Yep. So Tez is definitely down. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, which is enough to cast Equip, but then we don't have ability to adapt if they do flicker the spawn. 2, Overlord the Balemark? No? Main Riddler. So do they just redraw, or do they just flicker the Riddler? That's fine if so. They could have a push, I suppose. So Felia attack, flicker Riddler, Frog gains flying, sure. Attack Tez. Why would they not attack me? Interesting. Do you pitch a card to down Tez? You really should, otherwise I get to untap my halfling. Pitches a Riddler. No blocks. We're down to 18, so the question now is, do you have push? If you have push, then you will be able to hit the Broodscale. I would like a land, ideally. Riddler, draw a card, warp trigger, yep. And draw. Might. So in that case, we'll cast Broodscale. I'll equip Broodscale. Do you have push? Like, you fully knew about the Broodscale, so I'd be shocked if you didn't. Okay, there's the push, as expected. That is fine. So, Broodscale down, trigger blade, always yield. In that case, I'm gonna rumble here. Rumble, triggers. Looking for a land, ideally. There's also Ballista. Because they probably don't run Wrath main. So I'm thinking we go for Cavernous Souls. Because we can get Broodscale Double Blade, we should just win that way. Cavernous Souls, Name Eldrazi. We have 6 types in Yard. I will cast the Haywire Might. Because we can also use Haywire Might to begin the process. All right. Relic. I will pitch Rumble. And we'll hold. So they need another push. But I feel like they already used the push, and I'm just crazy. I guess they didn't. Maybe that was last game I'm thinking of? Maybe. Relic. I will exile a Tezzeret. Okay. Begin combat. Attack. So 4, 7, 9. 9 plus 6. So it's not lethal. We'll sack. Trigger. And yeah, we'll just take at this point. Pitch with frog, float with frog. So that we can draw a card. Yep, float the frog. Yep, we'll just take it. I guess this does actually present an issue. Because 7/10. Because even if we do make infinite tokens, we might still lose to frog, as awkward as that is. And that is a possibility, unfortunately. Because we now need a finisher. Interesting. So we might have to crack the bauble to dig deeper. Like, we have a ton of finishers off the top, I guess. Awkward. This is another frog. Overlord the Bailmerk. Finds Witch Enchanter. Okay. Down to 8. Well, I guess they are tapped out. Okay, actually. So we will draw. Stirrings. So if I go Broodscale. Uncounterable. They're going to need Fatal Push specifically. Yeah? Equip. Sack. Okay, yeah. I think we have it. Unless they have specifically equip. Do you have push? Exile, Overlord of the Bailmerk. Trigger. Triggers. Always yes. Always yield. Okay. So now, trigger again. Cast Blade of the Blood Chief. So now what we can do is we can make the halfling infinite. So we then will equip. And now we just grow the halfling. If they had the push, they would have already used it. So now just grow the halfling to 17 power and attack. The Hayramite coming in clutch. And that is 11, 12, 13, 16, and 17. All right, no reason not to attack, I think. Go to combat. 17 damage. I guess they could E-Fem. They could E-Fem something. That is an option, I suppose. Do you have the E-Fem? You do. E-Fem Felia. So now you can block. Yep, that is a mild problem. So Felia down triggers. So from here, we'll equip to Broodscale. So they currently have 4, 7, plus 5. So now we have to Vexing Bauble to find a finisher because the E-Fem. Yes. Because yeah, 4, 7, plus 5 is 13. The E-Fem did get them there. All right. Well, we'll crack Vexing Bauble. Draw a card. And draw. All right. Let's first, yeah, so triggers. So now even if they have a Solitude, we can make a million, a million. So they can't ever kill us. And if they don't have a Solitude, we win. And they scoop it up. All right, good stuff. Ooh, talking about living on a hope and a prayer there. Were we on the play on the draw there? I forget. We were on the draw. On the draw. Win for game 1. Let's move the sideboard. Okay, so we do want Pithy Needle because of Frog. We don't want Soul Guide Land because of Ketra. We want Vexing Bauble. We don't really want Awearmite. We can cut Rumble, Fleshraker, and a number of Halflings. We want Warping Whale. We want Dismember. We want Fire Spout. We will then cut 3 Halflings. We could, keywords, arguably cut a Saga. We have 3, 5, 8. The thing is we have 8 copies of Saga. Or 8 copies of Blade. Between Saga and Tez. So I don't really want to, even though because of Wrath it could be relevant. So we'll run it back like this. Alright. I mean, we do have Gemstone Caverns as a start. I think we pitch the Fire Spout and go Rumble on one. That seems reasonable. Pitch the Fire Spout, and we'll run it from there. And draw. Forest. We'll play the Cavern of Souls. Cavern of Souls, name Eldrazi. Play Rumble. Rumble resolves. There's Broodscale. We'll grab the Broodscale. And we'll pass. So now we're just missing Blade. Yeah, between the Saga, so between the Tezzeret and Blades, we only run 2 Saga, which is nice. It is just very fragile, especially into the current, like, Wrath of Skies meta, so, like, running fewer Sagas feels good. We were running 1 for a while, but now we're on 2. Fetch, do you play Frog? If so, we're going to K-command it. All Fountain Shock, looking like a frog to me. It's a frog. Okay. And draw, you shouldn't be playing... Oh. Interesting. I mean, there's still the possibility of a Solitude, so I think we still just exile the frog here. Do we ramp exile? I mean, I think we do. The scry draw is tempting, though. Frog down. Again, you shouldn't be playing Force. So frog down. We'll pass. Next turn, we do have Fleshraker into Blade, into Broodscale for the win. So they need interaction. Paying cost 4. Quantum Riddler. Okay. They draw a card. They're holding up blue-black, which makes me think they have push or consign. Second Blade. Ooh. Well, we can play around consign, but we can't really play around push. So what we'll do is this. White, colorless, green. Can't be countered. We'll play a Blade. Trigger. So Fleshraker can't get pushed, but it can get by Solitude. Trigger. Paying cost. Consign. Alright, interesting. They'll consign the Blade. We play the other Blade. It's tempting, but a Wrath is a bit worrisome. So we'll just hold then. I guess we could have held the green. Interesting. Maybe. Meticulous Archive, Surveil. Do they just hold? 4 cards in hand. Paying cost for what? Black, white, white. Ketra? Feels like Ketra. Yep, it's Ketra. Okay. So in that case, I mean, we just go for it, right? 3 cards in hand. Temple. We'll play the Temple. We cast the Blade. Blade trigger. Broodscale. Make it uncounterable. And opponent scoops it up. Clean 12 win against Blink. Good stuff, good stuff. We'll be back for match 5 and the potential 5-0. GG's. Alright, we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Well, that's a no-lander, that's a mulligan. This is more promising. We need a green source. I'll pitch the Emrakul, yes. So we could do something interesting here. I am tempted to go Saga on 1 so we can ramp into Soul Guide, not Soul Guide, Springleaf Drum. So I'm gonna go Saga on 1, trigger, pass. On 2 I'll play the Flesh Rake, and ideally we can get into the Springleaf. We'll pass. We'll also might make opponents sweat and think that we're Titan. Soul Guide, okay. So in that case, we'll play the Temple. Soul Guide is a redraw for what it's worth. I do get a bit worried about the Flesh Raker getting pushed. We could alternatively play the Soul Guide and Flesh Raker next turn, which nets us at least a minimum in Ancient Stirrings. But we'll go Flesh Raker, and we'll pass. Okay, resolves. Marshflats fetch Surveil. If they shock, then they have push. Okay. Surveil, Meticulous Archive. Could be Control, could be Blink. Could be... I guess it could be Esper Ock or Esper Murktide even. All valid options. Force. Okay, so it's not Blink. So it's either Ock or Murktide. Marshflats fetch 18. Please don't push. Please don't push. Frog? Frog. Okay, that's fine. So then draw. Okay, we found a green source, which means now we can instead go for Blade. We can play Karplusin. We can cast Broodscale. Trigger. Do we just win? They would need Subtlety. And even if Subtlety, we might actually have enough for the Soul Guide. No, I guess we don't have double blue, or double green though. So, Subtlety or Bust. I guess, no, if it's Frog, Oculus, or Murktide. So yeah, Subtlety or Bust. What say you, opponent? Trigger resolves. Resolves. Broodscale resolves. Equip. We win. Game 1, turn 3. Trigger. Yep, we got there. Turn 3 wins. We love to see it. All right, let's go to sideboard. So we don't know if this is Oculus or if it's Frog. I guess, yeah, it's either Oculus or Frog. It's not Reanimator. So we don't need to worry about Reanimator. So I'm thinking we keep Needle, keep Soul Guide. I think we keep even Bauble, cut the Haywire Mite. We will go to our sideboard guide. I think we're going to hedge our bets and say it's Ock. So I think we cut Halflings because of push. We cut the Mite. We bring in Graft Diggers. Warping Whale. Warping Whale's a little bit awkward, and then Dismember. The thing is, I kind of want Thief as well in case of Kaido. So we cut a Rumble, cut a Flesh Rake, and run it back like this. Yeah, because we're kind of having to hedge our bets that it's Oculus or Murktide. And while they do have overlap, it's not like 100%. So I think we keep it like this. We cut the half lanes, which is kind of awkward, but I think it's correct because of the pushes. I will keep. So this is a turn 1 Flesh Rake. I kind of want to keep Emrakul. I don't think I can. I'll keep. Opponent goes down to 6. Yeah, I think I have to pitch Emrakul here. Keep Needle for Frog. Because on turn 1 we Flesh Rake. Opponent's down to 5 cards. That's pretty good for us. White. I mean, I feel like I'm hedging on this being Esper Murktide. That'd be my guess. Opponent's either keeping a risky 5 or they're thinking about going down to 4. Alright. Gemstone, Exile, pass. Also, apologies, I've gotten a bit quieter. My voice is starting to go after a 7-hour long stream. Oh, no shot? Broodscale? I mean, don't mind if I do. So, I want to clarify. This could be a turn 2 win. Backstreet? Okay. Because of the caverns, this is a potential turn 2 win. No push. Thoughtseize? Damn it. You have to take the Broodscale. Don't take the Blade. Take the Broodscale. We have fewer copies of Broodscale than we technically have copies of Blade. No, opponent. Oh no. Because yeah, Tezzeret, Saga, Blade. We have 7 copies of Blade or equivalent. Oh no, opponent. Mistakes have been made. Draw. Ancient Stirrings? We Ancient Stirrings? There's Thief, there's Warping Whale, there's Soul Guide Lantern. I think we go Soul Guide Lantern for the redraw, honestly. We'll go Soul Guide. Any order. Play Karplusan. Cast Broodscale. Triggers. Triggers. ETBs. Play Soul Guide. Triggers. Soul Guide. Eat Thoughtseize. Pithy Needle. Triggers. Name Psychic Frog. For those who don't know, I'm actually wicked dyslexic, so if I ever say words weird, that's why. It's okay to laugh at it, but that is actually why. So like if I go like Psychic Frog instead of Psychic Frog, which I know it is, it's because it helps me spell it. It's how I have adapted to learning how to spell things all phonetically. All right, we hold. We have Grave Hate on board. Solitude. Oh, interesting. So this might be Ketra Frog after all. So they Solitude the Broodscale. Prismatic Ending. No. Ephem? Oh, this might be Goryo's. I did not consider that. All right, yeah. That will do it. Yep, I can't do much about that. So yeah, we definitely want to hold the Soul Guide then. I guess that's why they were confident in taking the Blade, because they had the Solitude. We draw. Any reason to show that we have the Grove? Probably not. We'll just hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rebound. Really? Attempting to spawn. We'll sack in response. And phase change. Draw. K command. Play the Grove. I will pass and hold. Draw. Alright, let's see if they have a consign. I have no choice. I'll take the 3, yeah? Down to 20, the 14, end step, and K command. Ramp scry draw, see if you have consigned memory. And done. That resolves. Oh, wow. That's one hell of a hand. So I'm thinking we rumble last. Blade, Flesh Raker top. And draw. Cast Flesh Raker. Cast Blade Trigger. We'll equip Blade the Flesh Rake and pass. So now they shouldn't attack. Godless Shrine, Shock 11. Is this Ketra? Could be Prismatic Ending. Yep, Prismatic Ending. So yeah, this definitely feels like Goryo's. Attack. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's no way we don't hit another type with the Rumble, so I will... Actually, there's no real reason to block, is there? No, we'll take it. It's fine. It's fine. End step. Draw. Rumble. And... Rumble. Emrakul? Yeah, we'll take the Emrakul. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright. Target you. And opponent scoops it up. Yeah, opponent scoops it up, and we got there, right? Oh, no. Never mind. I got... Oh, the challenge ended, and I got 150 play points. That's funny. I was like, wait, opponent scooped up, and I was really confused because we got product. That's really funny. Always yield, always yield. And do you have a Solitude in hand? No shot. Damn. Prismatic Ending. So Solitude will eat the Emrakul. We take control of their turn at least. Goryo's? I was right. I was right. So unfortunately I can't cast Goryo's because there's no targets. There's no reason to do anything. So yeah, we'll just pass. And we'll hold. So we know Goryo's, we were right. Of course they had another Solitude, for God's sake. And we draw. Broodscale. So we know we have Goryo's. Broodscale. We equip. We adapt. Always yes, always yield. So at this point in time, we have an infinitely big Broodscale. I do think we hold the Soul Guide Lantern and just pass at this point. So, I mean, if they have, we know we have Goryo's. The question is what else they will draw, because Prismatic Ending ends the Broodscale. We could just draw into a threat. But if they draw into... I guess they would need to find a way to pitch a Troxa or Grizzlebrand, right? Let's crack the Soul Guide. Screw it. We're going to go for it. Draw. Screw it, we ball. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Emrakul? Our turn, comrade. Thoughtseize. And what we draw? Subtlety. So we're going to go to main. We're going to Thoughtseize target self. We do not care about the subtlety. I mean, I guess we kind of do. Do we care about the subtlety? No, we don't care about the subtlety. Well, Thoughtseize self. Yep. And we're going to take the Goryos. So no Goryos for you. That leaves subtlety. We go to combat. Attack with Solitude. Block with Emrakul. And triggers. And hold. You have subtlety and that's it. We got there. Good frickin' stuff. Yeah, 1000% did not realize it was Goryos from game one, but we got the 5-0. We were able to get the trophy here in the Gold League, so good frickin' stuff. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. Tezzeret, feeling good as always. The hate package that we have side and main, feeling good. We definitely got lucky a few times off these top decks, but I mean, you play to win, and we certainly did. Cool stuff. Well, with that being said, that there will end today's video, or at least the YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button, comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed and mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much that I hope you all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached the point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button, as we are continuing to grow this channel bigger and bigger for more opportunities, both in ad revenue as well as sponsorships. So your subscriptions still do matter, even now that we've hit our 1,000 subscription goal in order to monetize these videos. But with that being said, if you do enjoy these videos and want to see them live, you can do so over on my Twitch, where you can see these videos as well as the challenges and the matches in between, all played live over on Twitch, where you can support me there too. It would be much appreciated and always a fun time. We are live Mondays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays through Sundays at 8 p.m. CST for the nightly challenges. With that being said, though, if you want to catch these YouTube videos early, you can do so over my Patreon, where you get early access to them. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!